Welcome to EduCasts, home of EduCasters. Attributional retraining, flipping the script. So how do we fix it? How do we move a Sarah, ability blame, to an Emily, effort blame? This process is called attributional retraining, and it is a powerful intervention. It's not about lying to students. It's not about telling a kid who failed that they did a good job. It's about helping them draw a new line between cause and effect. 1. Focus on strategy, not just effort. For a long time, teachers were told to just praise effort. Good trying. But if a kid tries hard and fails, and you say, good trying, they feel patronized. Instead, we need to link failure to ineffective strategies, which are unstable and controllable. Bad. You failed, but you tried hard. Good. You failed because you didn't use the outlining method we practiced. Let's look at how using that strategy would have changed your answer. By blaming the strategy, we protect the student's ego. It's not that I'm dumb, it's that I used the wrong tool. And we give them a clear path to fix it. Use the right tool. 2. The power of yet. This is straight out of Carol Dweck's growth mindset playbook, which is the cousin of attribution theory. When a student says, I'm not good at this, we add the word yet. It changes the attribution from stable, I'm not good, to unstable, I'm not good right now. It implies that ability is something that can be acquired, not just something you are born with. 3. Modeling constructive failure. Teachers need to model their own attributions. If the smartboard breaks and you say, I am so bad with technology, I'm useless, you are modeling an ability attribution. Instead, say, I haven't figured out how to fix this glitch yet. I need to read the manual or try a different cable. You are modeling an effort strategy attribution. You are showing them that adults face problems and solve them through action, not by lamenting their innate flaws. 4. Feedback is king. The comments we write on papers matter more than the grade. Avoid, you are a natural writer, reinforces ability, makes them afraid to fail later. Try, your drafting process really paid off here. The way you organized these paragraphs made your argument strong. Reinforces effort strategy. Avoid, math just isn't your thing, don't worry. Sympathy, pity, reinforces low ability. Try, you made calculation errors in this section because you rushed the steps. Slow down and check your work next time. Reinforces controllability. The bias problem, protecting the ego. We can't talk about attribution without talking about the biases that mess up our thinking. As humans, we are not objective data analysts. We are biased storytellers. The self-serving bias. This is the tendency to claim credit for success, but deny responsibility for failure. I got an A because I'm smart. I got an F because the teacher is tricky. While this can be annoying in a student, it's actually a healthy defense mechanism. It protects self-esteem. The student who blames everything on themselves, even the bad stuff, is at high risk for depression. We want a little bit of self-serving bias. We just need to temper it so they still take responsibility for their growth. A fundamental attribution error. This is when we judge others. When we fail, it's the situation. When they fail, it's their personality. If I am late to class, it's because of traffic, external. If you are late to class, it's because you are irresponsible, internal. Teachers do this all the time. We assume a sleeping kid is lazy, internal. But maybe they work the night shift to support their family, external. We have to check our own biases constantly. We have to ask, is there a situational reason for this behavior? Before we slap a label on the kid. Cultural nuances. It's not one size fits all. We have to be careful not to assume that these rules apply identically across every culture. Attribution theory was largely developed in the West, which is individualistic. We value the bootstraps narrative, the idea that the individual controls their destiny. In many Asian, Latin American, or African cultures which lean towards collectivism, the attributional patterns might look different. For example, in some East Asian cultures, attributing success to ability is seen as arrogant. Modesty is valued. So a high-performing student might publicly attribute success to luck or the teacher, even if they know they worked hard. Furthermore, the concept of effort carries different weight. In some cultures, effort is a moral obligation to the family. Failing due to lack of effort brings shame not just to the self, but to the community. Additionally, we have to look at the reality of systemic inequality. If a student from an under-resourced community says, "I failed because the system is rigged against me," external, stable, uncontrollable, we have to be careful not to dismiss that as a bad attribution. Sometimes it's the truth. If a student doesn't have internet access at home or textbooks or a safe place to sleep, telling them to just adopt an internal locus of control is gaslighting. We have to acknowledge the external barriers while still trying to help them find the areas where they do have agency. It's a delicate balance. We want to empower them without ignoring the reality of their struggle. Part 8. The developmental shift. Attributions change as kids grow up. Early childhood, K-2. Young kids are optimists. They don't really distinguish between effort and ability. If they try hard, they think they are smart. They think they can do anything. I can run the fastest. Even if they are last, failure doesn't stick to them. Middle childhood, 3-5. They start to compare themselves to others. The social comparison phase begins. They realize that some kids finish the math sheet faster. They start to infer ability from speed. Adolescence, 6-12. This is when it gets real. They understand the inverse relationship between effort and ability. If I have to study for 3 hours and she only studies for 1, she is smarter. This is the danger zone for dropping out of challenging subjects. Knowing this, elementary teachers have a different job than high school teachers. Elementary teachers need to build the habit of effort. High school teachers need to deconstruct the myth that effort equals stupidity. We have to normalize the struggle. We have to show them that even Einstein struggled with math, which is true. The story matters more than the score. At the end of the day, a grade is just ink on paper. It vanishes. But the attribution, the story the student believes about why that grade happened, sticks. It becomes part of their identity. If a student leaves our classroom believing, "I am incapable of learning this," we have failed them, no matter what their test scores say. If a student leaves our classroom believing, "I struggled today, but if I change my strategy and put in the work, I can get it tomorrow," then we have succeeded. We have given them a tool they can use for the rest of their lives. Attribution theory teaches us that motivation isn't a personality trait. You aren't just born motivated. Motivation is a result of how we explain our past. It is a cognitive process. And because it is a cognitive process, it can be taught. It can be reshaped. As educators, we are the editors of these stories. We can't write the story for the student, but we can help them edit the draft. We can point out the plot holes in their logic. We can remind them that they are the protagonist, not the victim. We can show them that failure isn't the end of the book. It's just a plot twist that sets up the comeback. So, the next time you hand back a test and hear that groan of despair or that sigh of relief, don't just ignore it. Lean in. Ask the question, "Why do you think that happened?" Listen to the answer, and then help them rewrite it. Because when you change the attribution, you change the future.